Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce you one of the best CEOs in the mining industry, the experience spanning 4 decades, not only North America, but Europe and Africa. So it's my pleasure to introduce you one of the CEOs I admire, the CEO of Mayo Lakes Mineral, trades on CSE. MLKM is the symbol, and the CEO, Mr. Rampton. But let me tell you what, Mr. Rampton is actually a doctor in the right field. He's a geologist. So I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Rampton. Dr. Rampton, welcome to the Daily Stock Show.
Oh, it's a pleasure being here.
So could you please introduce your company to investors who have never heard about you before, briefly? Then we jump into one of the properties you have, because I
Okay,
understand that you have a portfolio of properties. Let's
that's right.
please introduce your company to our investors.
Yeah, well, Mayo Lake Minerals, and from here on in, I'll just call it Mayo. Uh, we acquired our claims in the Yukon back in, I think it was 2012. That was based on some tips we had from some government people that everybody wasn't recognizing some of the data they had out, and also that this area was a lot of placer activity in it. And so we acquired a bunch of properties. Well, actually, five properties in this area. Now we have three left. One of them we sold to Banyan Gold. And of course, you realize that Banyan Gold is, for lack of a better word, sitting on a gold mine there. Their stock has gone from, I think it was 24 cents to a buck 40 recently, and that's in probably about a year. In the area that we are in uh, in the Rackla, no, not the Rackla, in Tombstone, the Tombstone Gold Belt. There's all sorts of activities. Uh, we have Snowline with 8 million ounces there. They're just doing a feasibility study and starting to permit, and their market cap is 2.4 billion right now, and it has been higher, but that's where it's at. And we have Sitka, another very attractive company. It's gone from I don't know, 20 cents to a dollar or something in a good period of time. And all these companies, there's been another gentleman step in, Strike Gold, that has bought all the properties adjacent to Sitka for, I think it was 32 million. And so everybody's very positive. Sitka is working towards a mine development and so forth, and and we're sitting right in the center of this, where we have a smaller properties, but quite big in the normal sense. But we're right adjacent to Banyan, and we have um, every reason to believe that we have similar geology. In fact, we're starting to prove it up. We developed all sorts of drill targets and so forth, and that's in our gold property. We have another silver property for that reason that and it sits right beside Hecla. It's one of the biggest. Well, it is the biggest pure silver miner in the United States, I think. And now that it's bought this property up adjacent to where we are, it's probably going to be the top pure silver producer in Canada also. And again, we have very attractive property right next to it. So, and we're a small cap. So now's your chance to jump on the bandwagon.
No, no
So,
doubt about it. When you say small cap, can you please remind the investors where the stock is trading and what is the market cap?
okay, the stock is trading on the Canadian Stock Exchange, and so the symbol is CSE, and then it's the company itself, MLKM.
Yes.
It's always you always have to think is it the L or the K first, but it's Lake, so it's the L first.
Yeah.
And our market cap right now, I think, is about 7 million.
Yeah.
I've done a comparables to some other companies that I don't believe their future is quite as positive as ours, but anyway, when I compare it to them, we should be at about 10 million today as I speak. Uh, but I'm sure that once we get drilling and stuff, that's going to be history.
That is no doubt about it.
Yeah,
Did you just mention that you are neighbors to Banyan Gold, a
yeah,
gold mine, and also Sitka is not far away?
yeah,
So you are sandwiched between these beautiful properties.
yeah,
And is my understanding correct that you sold a piece of property to Banyan?
yeah. We did sell a piece of property to Banyan. Uh, Actually, we used to think of it was sort of our third property, but when uh, we needed some cash to sort of clean up our financial situation so we could move ahead with financing and stuff. And this property, I'm sure, is going to be a boom for Banyan. Uh, we've when we looked it over before we sold it to them, it's clear that it has uh, a great potential for one of these reduced intrusion related gold systems, and that's with all the sheeted veining and stuff. And also it laid between their main RMAC property and their other property, the Nitra property, so it had great strategic value to them. And we thought that uh, it had great value to just from a strategic thing, and so we thought we could max out with the sale to them, and we sold it to them for just over $1 million.
Okay, one thing I want to make a distinction here, selling the property that helped you do the things you want to do without
Mhm.
diluting the investors. That's very important to me as an
Yeah,
investor. If I want to participate,
yeah,
instead of diluting the investors, you got the cash so you can clean up everything, you start beautifully and do
yeah,
the surveys and whatever the work you
yeah,
mining people do on the
yeah,
field.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good way to, I mean, for investors, from my perspective,
yeah, yeah,
if I'm going to invest, I said, you know what? They're sitting on $1 million cash. They did whatever they need to do for the remaining properties. That's a great thing for investors.
yeah, yeah. No, well, we're not sitting on the million anymore. Like you said,
Obviously, you
we
spend
had to
money to,
clean up
yeah,
our financial situation and do a bit of work on the properties.
yes,
And so now we're in a positive point.
right.
And it's hard to do financing if you have a lot of debt, and we've cleaned that up completely. And so we're
Th-
in a good position.
That is great. But that happened before the surge in gold.
No, that happened just before Christmas last year.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now the gold was much cheaper. Now gold is at $5,000. Now, what I wanted to ask you, sir, since we got so many properties in your portfolio, why don't we concentrate on one of the properties so investors understand better?
Yeah, okay. Well, I think uh, one of our flagships is what we call well, it's the Anderson-Davidson property,
Yeah.
but the east half of it contains what we call the Anderson Gold Trend, and we call it that for a very good reason. When we did our reconnaissance soil sampling, we got sniffs of soil all over the place. When we did our airborne magnetics, it showed that there was potential intrusions over quite a number of areas in the property. And then when we went out and did our soil sampling, we found quickly some pretty high values in the soils, linear values indicating some sorts of veins, and uh, we established four drill targets just based on that. And we hadn't looked at a lot of the property with the detailed soil sampling. But then last fall, we well, we were lucky. We had a fellow explorer who had a service outfit do a couple of days of soil sampling on what's called our Dawn Gulch. And the results from that turned out really well in that they increased our confidence that besides these linears, it looks like we're also going to have these broad, low grade, the low grade reduced intrusion related gold systems. And by that I mean generally they're the sheeted vein systems that form the core of Snowline, Banyan, and Sitka's main assets.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. The geology is geology. You're sitting right next to these giant companies. In the making, couple of them, those are your immediate neighbors. But a little far away, as you were mentioning, Snow Line. Snow
Yep.
Line is a $3 billion company, but roughly speaking,
Well,
uh,
2.4.
2.4.
We said three the other day, and actually it was at three, but
Yeah.
then immediately you brought up a thing that said, well, it's at 2.4, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
so it's 2.4 right now, I can assure you of that.
That is a lot of money compared to your
Yeah,
company, which is, you said, worth only
seven.
$7 million. And
Yeah.
it trades on CSE, folks, and it is about 5 to 6 cents. 5 to 6 cents. I
Yes.
remember Sitka, when we introduced American investors, it was only 12 cents. That company was worth 50, $60 million. Now it's $250 million company.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that for sure.
Yeah.
It's
So
that for sure.
we know how it works. So what you are trying to do now is you just mentioned you want to work on Anderson Davidson during this summer program. So you
Yeah,
got some
we're
drilling
hoping to
program going
do
there.
quite a
Yeah.
bit of drilling there.
Okay. So are you trying to raise any capital to help you drill?
Oh yes, we have to raise capital. Um, Uh, it's looking like to do a decent sized program, both on the Anderson Gold Trend and on our silver property. I think if we had 2.5 million or 2.2 or 2.5 million, we could really do a really good job. Um, we hope to at least raise 1.5 or $1.7 million. That would be, but we're still aiming for the upper.
Okay, makes sense. I would think from looking at the market, it is much easier to raise money now than ever before. So you are looking at about $2.5 million to start with. I mean, is that a private placement going on, and how are you planning to raise?
No, it'll be a private placement.
Uh-huh.
I'm still talking around with some of the the bigger institutions and stuff that invest in this play. One of them is Crescat Capital, and they have a lot of money in Sitka and quite a bit in Banyan too, I think. We're hoping to get some of their attention. I can't tell you what, I'm just getting a note off to them right now. I don't know what their response will be, but I'm optimistic.
Oh, that makes sense to me. They have investments in neighboring properties. They obviously,
Mhm.
if I am one of those bankers, I would think, guess what, folks? We can combine these properties in future. Let's give some money to Dr. Rampton. Let's let him find what he got. If
Yeah,
these properties connect with each other because you're sitting right next to each other,
yeah,
then
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a gold mine right there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So you are looking to raise this through the
yeah,
institutional investors and
yeah.
high net worth individuals who
Yeah.
can participate in your private placement,
Hmm.
but general public, ordinary everyday Joe can
Hmm.
go and buy your stock.
That's right. Yeah, on the market. Yeah.
Okay, that is great. So the MLKM is the symbol trading on the Toronto, no, is a Canadian Stock Exchange
Mm.
known as CSE. So
Yeah.
you can go to CSE and find out more about MLKM and learn about the properties
Hmm.
in the portfolio, learn about Dr. Rampton, his history of working in North America, in Africa, and Europe. So
Hmm.
that is what I'm talking about. A CEO who happened to be a doctor, he's a geologist, he knows what he's talking about, and they're lucky enough to have property sandwiched between these giant companies.
I forgot something there when you're listing where I've worked. We actually had a property down in Nevada there at one time,
Mhm.
and also I founded a company that is still working in Jamaica. So
Oh, you are all over the place. I did
a
not know
little
about
bit,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
of
thank you
course,
so much for bringing that
yeah,
to folks who want to know more about.
yeah,
So I want to say, if an investor looking at it,
yeah.
all he had to see is the geology
Hmm.
connecting to this property and
Hmm.
where you sit in the
Hmm.
right in the middle of the Yukon Territory, which
Hmm.
is the newest, biggest discovery of gold and
Hmm.
going wild in Canada right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So, folks, this is your chance to participate
Yes.
really on ground level.
Mhm.
What I'm excited about, Dr. Rampton, is I like smaller companies that give chance to small investors to participate at ground level. That's
Yeah,
my intention, to bring CEOs like yourself so you can talk about what you have, directly address investors.
right, right. Yeah.
I appreciate you. I cannot appreciate you enough for being here.
Okay.
So, one more time, could you please tell us, you are raising money for Anderson Davidson, right?
Well, yes, yes, that's where most of the money will go. Anderson Davidson, 2000, we're looking at 2,000 meters of drilling.
Yeah.
And we will be uh, doing some work over on what's called we call Carlin West. It's a kind of a grand silver discovery we've made there, high grade silver, typical of the Keno Hill type of deposits, and maybe we can talk about that next time.
That is a great way to end this conversation, so we can talk about nothing but silver. And that silver property, I know, is going to be a great property. And you happen to have the biggest, baddest neighbor, right?
Mhm.
This new.
Yeah, the big you're talking about Hecla, right?
Yes, sir. Because we're talking about the different property, we're
Yeah,
going to talk about that
yeah,
next week.
yeah.
Hecla is the largest producing miner in North America. Folks,
Silver miner, pure
yeah,
silver.
silver miner. Number
Yeah,
one silver miner.
Yeah.
Don't make a mistake about that. And we want to talk about that property next week with
Okay.
Dr. Rampton.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Doctor.
Okay. Bye for now.